Yeah, hi guys. Today we will can discuss the topic about workflow in AEM and what is a workflow and what are the steps involved in workflow and how we can create or run the workflow and where the workflow will store whatever we have created. We can discuss about the workflow today. Like workflow in AEM are used to streamline and control the flow of tasks such as content approval, publishing and translations, ensuring that the right steps are taken in the correct order and that the appropriate individuals are involved at each stage. Means whenever we have created a workflow, why we will create a workflow to run a particular task, and what are the tasks whatever we have created, it was working or we want to add any additional things for that, and everything will be grouped, and it will make we can make an workflow to perform a particular task. Like as a developer we will create a content, and as a tester they will test as the content other, those guys will other, as the remaining guys work they will do it. These all the steps want to be in one flow, then we will create the workflow. After that, each and every after our developing, it will go to the testing or QA or maybe anywhere. Like that it will perform a task, and we can mention like for a particular time the task want to be run, or how many times the task want to be performed at a particular minutes. Everything we can use by using workflow, we can design that. And what are the key components of AEM workflow? Workflow models, we have basically workflow models, workflow instance, workflow steps, and workflow launcher. Models nothing but the manually. These are the templates or blueprints that define the sequence of steps in workflow. Each step can involve human interaction, automated process, or both. Workflow models are created and managed using the workflow editor. Where this workflow, where we can create and manage this workflow means we can create and manage the workflow by using the workflow editor, and where we can use in the manually we can use the sequence of steps to create a workflow, and each step was involved by the human interaction, and we can there is a two things, one is manual and another one is automated, and I will discuss the automatic at the fourth point. By manually each and every step was created in the workflow by using the human interaction. And workflow instances, when a workflow model is executed, an instance is created. This instance is the actual running workflow that process specific content or task according the defined steps in the model. I will show this instance also where it will be created each and everything. And like when a workflow what is meant by the workflow model instance, whenever we have created a workflow model, I automatically one instance will be created and the model will be run under that instance, and it will show the status of the workflow. Is it running, or at which step it was running, each and everything it will we can see in the workflow instances. And there are steps in workflow like participation step and process step, and human interaction such as approval or review it will be in participation step, and automated actions performed by the system such as content replication, email notifications or invoking scripts, these are will be the process steps. Means whatever the steps I want to create for that workflow, we can create that steps by using the participation step. After that, while I am running the workflow model, there will be some of the steps for the permissions. I and those types of permissions we can see in the processing steps. That only it was saying that it was a we can see that as the replication or maybe the email notification or invoking scripts. I will explain you at the end how it will works, the process step, these all the things. And workflow launcher, this feature allows workflow to be automatically triggered based on the certain events such as content creation, modification or deletion. By miss we have one option for the we call a launcher for creating our workflow automatically, not manually. And we in that automatically we can create. The features allows workflow to be created. Okay, in our launcher, the workflow can be created automatically, and we can create by in our launcher. We can use these steps like creation or modification or deletion. These three steps we can modify, we can use in our launcher. And another one is the, okay, workflow process, how the workflow will be runs. One is that designing the workflow, means who can design this workflow. Administrator or developers design workflow models using the AEM workflow editor. How we can creating the designing of a workflow means by using the workflow editor. It specifies the sequence of steps and configuring each steps parameters. Means here we can create the step by step process whatever we want to create in that workflow, and we can configure that steps and as well as the each steps of the parameters. And initiating the workflow can be initiated manually by users or automatically through workflow launchers. Means we can initiate our workflow by using two ways. One is manually and another one is launcher, by using launcher. And executing the workflow, once initiated, the workflow instance progress to the defined steps. Tasks are assigned to user or groups, and automated process are executed as configured. Means here it was saying that whenever we have created the workflow, it will go under the instance, and it will go different types of means we, while we are creating the workflow, we will just mention like the process step, for whom it want to be for whom it want to be assigned, or okay, for whom the task want to be assigned, that will be in groups or maybe the users, and automatically the process are executed or be configured. By after running the workflow, it will go to the instance. After the instance, it will just start the process for whom the step want to be goal. Like it may be the users, maybe the groups in that particular one. And monitoring and managing, who will monitor and manage this one. Administrator can monitor active workflow instances, view their progress and manage tasks. They can also terminate or restart workflow if necessary. Only the administrator can monitor these active workflow instances, and where the what is the progress of the task, and what they can manage those tasks, and they can easily terminate or restart that workflow. These all the things were done by the administrator. And completing the workflow. The workflow concludes when all the defined steps are completed. This could mean content is published, approved, translated, or another end goal is achieved. These are means the final thing after completion of creating the workflow, and we have successfully run our workflow. These are for example, it was mentioned like this could mean content is published or approved or translated or another end goal is achieved. Means the completion of the workflow you can see in the, it may be, I will just let you know, there will be five. Okay, it will be stored in the action. And after that, what is the benefits of AM workflow? Efficiency, first is efficiency and consistency and collaboration and visibility. How automates repetitive task, reducing manual effort. After, means whenever we have created the task, it can be automatically run those tasks. uh, so it will be very efficiency and consistency, ensuring standardized procedures are followed, minimizing errors. Means we are using the standard procedures. By using the standard procedure, there will be the less number of errors. So it is very consistency. And collaboration, facilitate collaboration among team members by clearly defining tasks and responsibilities. Means we are here dividing the task for each and every member in in that particular group, so that it will be very collaborating, and it will be very easy to uh, do that particular task. And visibility provides transparency into the status and progress of various tasks and process. And where exactly the workflow will store? The workflow will store in the conf folder, global settings, workflow models, and another where it will store in where workflow and the instances. Now we can move forward to create the workflow. And I have said that first one it will store in the conf global. Here you can see the settings workflow. Whatever we have created, it will store under the models. Right now it doesn't created anything. I will create right now. And another folder is where. Here you can see the workflows. In this workflow you can see in the models whatever that we have created. The here whatever we have created, that workflows will store under these two folders. Now I will try to create the workflow. For creating the workflow, we want to go to the tool interface. Here you can see the workflow option. The manual, if we want to create a workflow manually, we will use the models. What if I want to create the workflow automatically, I will use the launchers. And after I have created the workflow, if it was in the running state, you can see in the instances. And if the workflow was completed, it will store under the active. If the workflow it was failed, it will store under the failures. And right now I will just show you how to create the workflow by using the manually. For that I have clicked on the models. Here there are different types of workflows which was uh, I can say out of the box because everything was given by the Adobe persons. And right now I want to create the task. For that, simply create a model and mention the type. I want to mention like project workflow. The same thing I want to mention under the name. Done. Now I have created one particular project folder. Try to click on this tick symbol and try to click on the edit option. Now I have said that whatever I have created the workflow, it will store in the where folder or maybe the con folder. For that, simply go and refresh the con folder. Go to the global settings, workflow, models. Here it was created under the models. And please, the workflow, you can see the primary type of the workflow. It was the CQ page. Means it was one type of a page, it called a CQ page. And here we have one template for that particular page, that is libs CQ workflow templates and models. For every page we will have a template. For like that, for creating the workflow we have the CQ page, and for the template for that page it is the template. And this is the flow, it was mentioned right over there. And you can see, you can know that everything it was stored under the JCR content. Right now it doesn't created anything. And I have said that it will store under the where also. Just try to refresh the models. This is our thing, project FW. What are these are the nodes? Node 1 is the start, node 2 it will be the end. You can see this. Here we have the flow start and the flow end. And here we have the step 1. It was showing in the node 1. You can click on the node 1, you can see that step 1. And right now I want to share some more thing like, yeah, for parses, in this we have the parses, that is their component here. For that we have one flow, in that flow we have mentioned the type. So you can see that parses right over in this flow. Right now I don't want to, right now I don't want this step 1. I am just deleting it. And you can check here, I have deleted one step. refresh models. Okay, it was nothing showing here. Okay, now we can go and refresh right over in these models. This is our project WF, and check the nodes. Still you can see here I have deleted one node, that is step 1, but here in the where you can see that still it was storing in here. For that, whenever you have created the workflow, you want to sync it. If you have synced it, whatever the latest update or whatever the changes you have done to the workflow, it will apply to the where folder as well as the it will apply to the where folder as well as the con folder. Simply try to sync on it. Yeah, we have synced that one. Now try to refresh. Now you can see only two nodes are representing. One is the start node and another one is the end node. Now I can explain simply how to create a workflow by using the manually. For that, simply click on the insert symbol. For that, okay, simply I will show in the version creation how to create a version, and I mention the title. Simply click on the config create version. Here your title like project creation. Nothing is there, I want to pass it. Simply I have given the title and simply sync again. Now again check here is it was showing or not. Yes, it was the project creation. Now I want to run this workflow. How we can run this workflow? Simply click on the page information. Here you can see that start workflow. After running the start workflow, here it was asking that payload where you want to show this workflow. Means we want to check that this workflow is running or not, or it was working perfectly or not. For that, we want to give one payload. For by giving the payload, we can see that where we can see that that workflow is running or not. Simply click on that. Here you can see the content folder. Go to your project. This is my project name, US and EN. Click on the EN and select it simply. I have given the payload and title. There is no need. Okay, I'm just giving the same name and comment. I'm just commenting it and simply I'm running that one. Okay, I have run the workflow and I have said that just go to the navigation interface, go to the workflow and check in the instance. First of all, there is no item to run. Okay, I want to reload it. Okay, it was not showing, no issue. Just go back and now once check that it was working or not, where I have given the payload. Here EN, where we can check this page, simply click on the middle of the button. Here we have that content timeline versions. Okay, it was not showing. Okay, I have not selected properly, I think so. I think so, I have not selected properly, so it was shown that one. Simply click on the instance. Okay, still it was not showing. Check that the workflow is running or not. For that, go to your navigation interface click on that EN page, here you can see that page creation has been done 2 minutes ago. And this like this we can see that our workflow is running or not. And here you can see once again a page project creation has done a few seconds ago. Like this, by manually we can run our workflow like this. And now we will use the launcher. We'll use By using the launcher we can run the workflow. For that, simply go to the workflow and check that there is any issue. Okay, here I have here you can see whatever the workflow I have created, it was showing in the workflow action, means it was done successfully. And for that, means I have not mentioned any steps, I have mentioned only single steps. So it was if it was running successfully, it was going to the action. If it was in the running process, then you can see in the instance. Now I want to create the workflow by using the launcher. For that, just go to the workflow launcher option. Here you can see the create button, add launcher. And here you can see that event type. Event means it may be event listener or event handler. In the future you can see that what is meant by that. And here we have the options like created, modified or removed. Means we want to select the option which type of workflow we are doing. If you are modifying that workflow, you want to select the modify. If you want to remove that, you want to select that removed option. Now I am creating the workflow by using the launcher. For that, I am using CQ page. As I have said that workflow, it was the CQ page. Okay, now path, where I can see the workflow it was running or not. For that, simply select US and EM. Now here we have run modes. If you are an author, you can use the author mode. If you are a publisher, you can use the publish. If the both guys want to work on to on this, that guy can use the both author and publisher. Right now I am the only guy using this one, so I am selecting the author. And here check the activation model, workflow model means whatever we have created the previous one. You can simply go to the project WF is the model we have created. For that I want to give the variation and simply, and this is the button you want to remember it. Right now we are creating the workflow. If this workflow want to be run right now, you want to click on the activate button. If you don't want to run, you want to simply create that workflow. And in future if you want to use that, simply create it. Right now I want to use this thing, so I am clicking on the activate button and simply I have mentioned each and everything. Yes, create it. And you can see that the created one. Yeah, this is the thing I have created right now. And where we can see that one, the same thing, go to your navigation interface. There you can see the sites. And whenever you have created any page, automatically you can see the option I have created automatically. Okay, simply creating the title, done. Now you can check this. You can check the variation. Here we have the timeline. Click on the timeline. Here we have the variation versions option. You can see that. Click on the show. I think there is some catch issue, so it was performing like that. Select it. Okay, no issue. Once we can recreate it, once we'll check the. Okay, I will try to duplicate this tab. Go to the workflow. Here there will be the launcher. Check that. Okay, I will try to create once again. Okay, sorry, I want to check on the new page when I want to select it and I want to check it, so it was not showing. Here you can see that a few seconds ago this page has been created. It was showing the output here. I am checking on the US or maybe the EM, so it was showing the, it was not showing anything. If I have clicked on it, you can see that the previous versions, 11 minutes ago, by using manual we have created on it. If I have clicked on the page by using the page whatever I have created, whenever you have done created a new page or maybe anything, then you can see the um, creation when it was created. The page was created, you can see that the page was created a minute ago by the administrator and a minute ago by workflow services we have created that one. And like this we will just create the workflow by using the launcher as well as the manual. And one more thing I want to share to you, if it is possible, I want to create one more workflow. simply go back, click on the Adobe Experience Manager, go to the tools, workflow. Here by using the model I want to create one more. I have shown you by the page variation, but I want to create 2 or 3 steps for that one. For that project, um, project steps. Now here just try to create the project steps. Now try to edit this one. And before creating that one I want to show to you in my what are the things it was done in the con folder and maybe the where folder. Here you can see that global settings. In the settings there is the workflow. You can see the models whatever I have created, workflow steps right now I have created, and this is the previous thing, and you can check on it in the flow. It was mentioned creation version, and here you can see that it was the parses. Okay, here we have created the project creation. It was showing that, and here it was showing that creation of the W's what we have created. It was showing right over here, and you can see the same thing here too, whatever the step I have used in the workflow. And right now I want to create one more workflow model. In the project steps try to edit that one. I think I have edited. Now I want to remove this one, delete it. Now I want to add the participation step. Yeah, take I try to take 2 more participation steps. Okay, in our real time scenario we think like there is a we will go by the movie way. If there is a movie, for that simply what we will have that one, one first thing we will start the movie. The flow start we will think as the starting of the movie. After that what are the things it was present right over there, please let me know. Mm, what are the steps we can think like that. Okay, I will just take that. Making, we have started the movie, we'll just make that one. And there is not where there is no need to fill these all the things, and just mention that. And I want to get where I want to get this approval. I want to get this approval for the administrator, means for me. If there is any other guys we can mention that user or group. And after making that it will just go to the sensor. We can mention it was the sensor, means they will see that one, and they will give it maybe u or a or u by a, these are the things. And that thing also I want to get the by your email, as well as the approval want to be get by the administrator, maybe admin. And after that they will be the reviewer after releasing the movie. Okay, we can mention the release. Everything okay, it will be released. And I want to add one more step. After release there will be the review. Okay, These are the steps if a movie has been done. If we are making the movie, these are the steps. I think these are the few steps in that. I'm just using that. Now I have created the different types of steps. Now if the workflow was start, if the movie was start, it will go to the making. If the making was done, it will go to the sensor board. If the sensor board says it was okay, it will go to the what is the next step I have written, release. If the release was done, the reviewer will give the review. And these are the things I have created. And before creating, I have created few steps, and you can check that in that conf folder. Go to your conf, there will be the global settings and the workflow. In the workflow, go to the models. These are the models, jcr content flow. These are the steps I have created right over there. Now you can't see in the where folder. For seeing in the where folder, I think you can see. Okay, you can't see. You want to sync this one, not this one, sorry, this project step. If you sync this one, it will just go to your where folder. Just try to refresh. Notes, here you can see different types of notes and the making. You can see that sensor, the title, and release. These are the things. Now simply start your workflow. Where you can start your workflow. For starting the workflow, you want to give one payload. For that, I will just go to the content. Here you can see our project name. Yeah, I can see it. Now I want to select for the US. There is no use to select for that one. I am selecting for the US. Here I want, okay, simply I'm mentioning the comment. Now run this one. If I run this one, I will give a clarity of how the workflow will start. Previously I can't show you where it was going and in the instance, these are all the things. Now just come to your workflow. Whatever I have created the workflow, when it was running, you can see in the instance one. You can see that one. And this is the thing, the model name project step. It was in running mode, and it will go to the admin, and the payload is content hell us, and the comment everything you can see version as well as the title. Now I have created a few steps, and I have mentioned that it want to come near to the admin or made through the email. And where you can see that, you can see here there is the notification. Just click on the inbox. There we have the making. Means first of all, the workflow was started. After uh, running of the workflow, it was going to the making step. Means the movie making. What it was means, if I have allowed that one, it will go to the making and it will complete the making, and after completing the making, it will go to the sensor. Like that, I have created a workflow. For that, you can see that workflow instance. Here there is the making option in our inbox. Just try to click on it. Here each and everything it was mentioned. What are the means, who for whom it was assigned, for a where you can see the path, payload, these all the things, workflow info, and the comments. If you want to mention the previous things, whatever the workflow, whenever the workflow start, I have done the some of the comments and some of the payloads. These are the things you can see here. Simply there is the complete step. If this one is okay for us, you can simply click on the complete. If there is something wrong, you can go step back, and you can stop it, and you can ask them to rechange that work. And if it was wrong, you can simply, I have said that administrator can be delete or modify or anything creation, you can delete it. Now there is no changes in this. Simply I want to go to the another step. For that, simply come here, the next step, it will go to this guy, and I am mentioning that it was approved. I have mentioned the complete, I have done it. Now I have completed one thing, And how many steps are remaining? There is a sensor as well as the release as well as the review, where you can see that. Simply again you can go here, there is the notification option. Here the next step it was the sensor. So it was means here the workflow was started. After starting I have given the permission, the making whatever the steps it was in the making, it was done it. After completion of the step in this thing, it will just go to the sensor one. This one you can see here, like that you have created that one. And you can check if there is means you can check each and every content whatever it was presented right over there. If there is no need to any check, simply click on the and again. Okay, now again just go to the, after that which step you can see that release option. Again you can go to the inbox. Here you can see this. Again it was showing the sensor. Reload that page. Yeah, now you can see the release option. Simply check that, and if you want to change anything you can step it back. If there is no change, simply complete dump from my side, ready to release. I have done it. Try to reload the page, and the last and final step it was the review step. Now go to the, you have reloaded that one. Yeah, I have just reloaded it. I have done it right. Still it was showing no issue. Here you can see that uh, review step. If you can't see here, here you can see the final step. Simply click here, and here you can see to see the to open that one you can open here, or you can simply complete it. And I have said that still it will show in our instance only. And you can see that which step it was going on, these all the things means our workflow is running or not. It still it was running. And the final step, I am just going to approve the final step. Simply go and complete it. After approving this one, simply it will just go to the flow end and it will store in our H, I think so. Here it is the workflow, here it will store in that, and nothing is there up to right now. And you can see that whatever the things up to it was done. And right now if I have done my workflow means if I have approved the last step, the flow it may be ends. After that you can see in the actual, simply comment it, it's okay. Okay, it was the review step, I can give that 5 by 5. Simply click ok. The everything was done. I have created the workflow and I have give the permissions and everything. Simply reload this one, and you can see that this is the thing, project step it was completed. Whatever the workflow I have created, it was completed, and it will show in the actual. If it was fail, if any step it was fail, it will show in the failure